Alright everyone, we're back. The server just came back online right when I finished brushing my teeth. So welcome to the fourth part of our speedrun slash just gameplay and getting along really well on a freshly wiped server. This server wiped late yesterday. I don't think anyone managed to get any sieges off because of how late the siege was compared to the wipe time. But we are 3 hours into this server. We have killed somewhere around 15 players, I would guess. And we have just so much loot all the time. We've killed Clive the Firestarter basically 3 times. And some of his gear has been taken from us. And someone sucked his soul before we could, so they kind of stole that kill as well. But we're in a fantastic spot. All we have left to do is craft a bomb and make our way to Bandit King. So we're going to need sulfur plus sulfur in order to get the bomb going, and I think we should have enough actual sulfur to make it work. So we'll compulsively stack all of that good stuff, and we've got some sulfur on the way. We might already have some in chests as well, since we've looted some from other players. There's 7. I think we're going to need whetstones as well for the bombs. We also have 75 paper. Just a fantastic start so far. No deaths here. Our chests are kind of all over the place because we've been moving them around a lot to avoid the sun before we got the mist brazier up and running. But now that that's up, we're feeling good. There's the merciless copper mace. We've seen a couple players rocking the mace. Doesn't seem that good to me for 1v1, but who knows? You know, it always comes down to skill and ganking and opportunities, and it's very hard to get those, strictly speaking, 1 versus 1s, but we've had a lot so far in our run through, which is wonderful. Alright, so explosives is going to be sulfur indeed, planks and whetstones. So we'll get all those rocking, and let's take a look and see if we unlocked any more merciless. Now the merciless would be a really big come up. Just the original 2, but getting 4 merciless this early would put you at level 50 coming out of tier 1, right? We would have oh no, sorry, it's only a 1 upgrade instead of a 3. My fault. You would be at 40. But we're definitely ready to go to tier 2 now. We're definitely on the verge of getting iron. So this is going to be the kill of the Bandit King and the moving of the base into T2 and possibly 1 run at the iron mine, depending on if this base or this base is still open. I also think this base would be great because you could put servants up top here, and they would shoot down at monsters and players. So it would be an annoyance, and you could probably hear people running by or getting into battle. And so it's also going to be interesting to figure out what we can move to tier 2 because we don't have a partner here. I mean, this is a duo server, but I am speedrunning, practicing for solos, and I'm also going to be playing a solo duo server if that comes out in the future. So we're going to be playing a lot of fun new wipes. I really like when everyone's together in T1 and on a very even footing. That part does feel like a very fast BR, and you guys keep in mind, you don't have to play through the whole game, right? Especially if we've already played through once in PvE and finished it. You could just join in for a fresh wipe and do the T1, maybe T1 kind of go into T2, and then you could quit, or you could just get your castle to stone and maybe no one sieges you. So there's a lot of good opportunities as long as you get your castle to stone to actually survive sieges. And we could already make, I believe, a servant coffin here in the near future, so you could get kind of late T1, early T2 servants up and running and grinding for you as well. So we have 2 sulfur to go, and then we're ready to roll. We should probably empty our inventory though. I guess we'll just take only the finished products of everything. So maybe we'll take all this old gear. This isn't a hardcore server, so we never actually had to downgrade into any gear. But I'm going to go ahead and just dump some of this on the ground. And this is going to be kind of half of what we take with us on our move. Twilight Snapper, isn't that what I need to get rat form? I'm probably gonna have to take that also. Or possibly we can just fight the rat here. Let me take a look. We would need a lot of stone. I think I've turned it all into brick. I think we're also leaving crude. So we could break all the crude down into gem dust and then just take one large stack of that with us. Alright, I think we are ready to move. As soon as we kill Bandit King, it is on. If we get ganked while moving, that is going to be extremely bad, but the server did just come online after a very short 5 or 10 minute DC, so hopefully players are just reorganizing themselves and we can capitalize on this. Alright, the bomb is done, and we are on our way. I've actually never soloed the Bandit King, so this is going to be very interesting. It's also fun to realize now, on this playthrough, that if the door to Bandit King is open, that means someone's in there. And on my old playthroughs and on the PvE and on the PvP server, I never really even thought about that. I just kept going. I didn't really know what it was, but now we know. We're starting to get very gank oriented, right? We're starting to understand the meta fighting players and catching them off. We like the 1v1s. We've had a lot of great 1v1s here today. Very even fights all the way across the board. Oh, this is just a terrible spot to get stuck. I feel like we're already filling up on a lot of stuff as far as loot goes, that we don't necessarily need to loot anything else since we're going to be moving bases and we're going to be limited on slots. Risky play of the day here. Fighting the entire mob camp. But it worked out. And we're pressing on. So once again, welcome back. This is the 4th hour of the speedrun / just gameplay video. This sure feels like it's on the way to a full playthrough just because we're very far. We're not ahead, but we're definitely in a really, really, really good spot right now. All right, we're at the 15-minute mark on this video, so it's about 3 hours in. We are fully moving out of T1 into T2, and I want to say, like I did guess earlier, it would be about 6 hours to T2. I feel like we're on the way. If you can get ahead of the leveling curve and no one ganks you very much, you can very much get to T1 probably in 2 hours, I would guess, on a really, really nice speed run with some good 100% bloods and just all around good luck and love. A couple ganks here and there, especially on the full loot hardcore servers where killing somebody would give you their gear. Then you could possibly get even further. So I think a lot of people will be playing the fresh start full loot PvPs, and then you just go until maybe you die once and you give up, or maybe you go until you die once or twice or 3 times. And then it becomes more of a play session. You know, you can play for 2 or 3 hours, right? So we played for 3 hours and we finished T1 and we had a lot of great PvP fights. So overall, I'm very impressed with the start of the speed run. I'm going to attempt to move my base now, and if we're trying to move the base and we get ganked, I'd say we just set ourselves all the way back. But we're going to try to pull all those finished materials up to that iron mine, and if that's the case and that happens, then that is beautiful, and we'll do T2 tomorrow when I wake up. Hopefully even get a nice siege window in there. Yep, we killed all the most important T1 bosses and some extras. We got the sulfur coming, we got the bone dust coming. Another grader. So we have a lot to do here and a lot to move. Having no clanmate makes it very, very interesting. I know I keep saying it, but it's just, to me, the thought, because I never had to do that before. I've never played solo. This garlic resistance would be beautiful, right? When you get to T2, you pop the garlic resist potion, and then you start gathering garlic in order to, you start gathering cotton in order to take care of all of that. I think that would be a really, really good play to save time as well. Now, I haven't theory crafted all of this. I do have a lot of hours of playtime, but some of it's still brand new to me. Alright, I think we have the majority of the stuff that we need to move the base. Come on, one more merciless. Ah, the crossbow. I actually don't care for the crossbow personally. I know it's a good weapon, but just not my forte. Now what to get rid of in order to make this move? Guess we don't need plant fibers. Oh, we're definitely done with bone sword. Alright, that is the end. It is time to move. All right. I have never had to break down my entire castle before. That is a first for me. In my clan matches, I always moved up here to the top left, immediately blocked it all off, and then we just moved from one clan member's castle to the next, from T1 to T2 to T3. Somebody would have so many mats if they killed me right now. They would be ready to lay down a base. They'd be ready to get half the stuff they need to get through T2 if they just had some iron. I'm also very curious to see how far advanced we are and how many players are at the iron mine. It would be wonderful if after we lay down the base we managed to get a nice gank right off the get-go. Just set down the base, make everything happen, just like how it worked out for T1, where we just hit the right people to get the job done. I think I just went in a weird circuit. No, I didn't. Wait, this is cotton. So we don't want cotton, so we gotta go this way. Wait, where's my waypoint? Oh, I moved my waypoint. Okay, sorry guys. Getting a little tired. I'm ready to set down the base. Feeling good. And I don't see anyone up here. Oh, there is a castle here. But we can block this castle in. Oh, it's wood. Alright, so if we put our heart down here, we can block off that entire section. And give ourselves access to the top. Yeah, okay. That looks good to me. So we want to start at the bottom, that way no one can block us in. Oh, we didn't bring any stone. That could be very bad. Alright, so we'll have to be a little bit more prepared for the move next time. I think I'm going to drop this, maybe leather. I don't remember needing very much leather. I always remember having a lot of spare stacks. So we want to block this top part as well. So we're going to try to expand left to right. Alright, we gotta go. We gotta move fast because someone's gonna get all our good stuff. We actually have iron inside our base right here, so that's already going to be a good start. So we're just going to build a wood wall all the way across, and then we'll have to upgrade that to stone before I go to sleep. And so within 4 hours, you can move your base fully from T1 to T2 and be somewhere around level 40 to 45, depending on how much iron you can get and how much success you have in the iron mine. I would like to try to do an iron mine run. This is a very full server, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that when we joined, but there was it had just wiped. It's early in the morning for me, 5 a.m. Pacific time, and there was already over halfway full in the server, and it was filling up, and it just wiped yesterday. All right. That is it. We blocked off this entire part of the hillside. From here all the way across, we own all of this, which is, I think, a lot for one player on this server. We also realized that the other player is wood, so we probably have neighbors again, just like we did earlier in the video, which is excellent. You know, we love the competition. We do have to finish this wall. So next time we'll have to bring a couple stacks of raw mats, so we don't have to gather things like fiber and stone and just lumber. I kind of felt like we were over that for some reason, but when you are building your castle for the first time, you do need to spend a good 30 minutes gathering. So next time we'll be more prepared, and I think we can definitely get the speed run down quite a bit more. Alright guys, so the castle is done. Oof, almost. Alright, the castle is now done. From one side all the way over to the other. Now all we have to do is expand the fundamental borders. Oh yeah, this is ready. We just need a lot of stone and bricks, and we're going to town. Let's see if we can already gather this iron right here. So we'll pick up some safe iron, and then we'll set down some chests and put all this away. And we'll check out the T2 iron mine, maybe do one small loop. We're going to want to get a lot of copper as well, so we may have to go back to the T1 copper mine. Try to gank a team that's below us, that's gathering. I really need to make an iron mace just for gathering. I feel like you need so much more minerals in T2 than we needed in T1. We need obviously all the iron. We're going to need tons of stone for the castle walls. And then we're going to need gems and quartz for glass. So it's definitely a lot. Also, the mace is a fantastic weapon against the golem boss, who we need for the siege golems. The blood moon is a really good time to go into that iron mine. Get the bonuses from my blood type and movement speed. Alright, now we would want to make individual rooms with the legitimate flooring to get them operational, so we need less things in order to tier up, and it's going to take less cooldowns in order to produce those. And I think we do have forged flooring, which is probably a pretty common drop in T1, I would think. And so we're going to want our grinders, our sawmills, and our forges inside one room together, so they all get the bonus. So now is when you start beautifying your castle, right? So you're going to be in T2 for a while, possibly 3 hours or more, most likely more, depending on how much PvP you have and how much experience you have. We've never actually speedran T2. I've usually just gone the first 40 minutes or an hour trying to see how long it would take me to beat Clive. I think going for Clive earlier in the speedrun would be more helpful because of how many players need him to progress and how dangerous of a fight it is if another player jumps you. We also get to worry about a lot less things in solo than we do in quads because it's much harder to progress solo. You have to fight every boss alone, and there's a lot of mechanics that are kind of challenging and tough in my opinion. Obviously, kiting the bosses and using mostly ranged abilities is definitely a big play. But I still think there's a lot of room to make mistakes. And you don't have anyone to peel for you if you do get a gank. Alright, so we're going to make, I think we'll do the front or the side over here is the production station. We just got to clear a little bit more space. Probably we would have saved a lot of time if we'd built here initially. Then we're also next to the horses, but I felt like a lot of times we killed people and we didn't have very far to go to put the loot back. So I think initially you do want something like this, or this, or this, or this. You want to do copper mine runs fairly easily. You really want to stack copper hard because we're going to need so much more of it in T2 for so many random things. I think you need it all the way up into T3 as well. We're going to start with one of each, and then obviously we'll expand. I'm just trying to make the room really fast so we can get back to grinding. Because we really want to get in that iron mine and gather a bunch of iron before it gets super popular. Okay, so that's actually workshop. That's workshop. And this is forge. So we want this in its own room, but we want it to be close by. Alright, so these are brick producing machines right now. We would obviously want to get the walls around these and the walls around this. We're probably going to have to build this as a 4 slot as well, maybe right here. And then those are all going to be individual rooms set up as workshops that are going to be just churning things out, doing a great job. So now we are officially set back up. I think it took us about 25 minutes to move all said and done, and that was my first ever move, so we'll definitely be faster next time. And probably practice trying to decide if it's worth it to move or just start up here and then make your journey down. I'm not sure how much time you would save by moving back and forth. Also, the likelihood of getting ganked on this road right here I feel like is probably pretty high, especially if we're carrying a whole lot of mats. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and hit the iron mine one time. Just do a quick loop. Hopefully find some players. I really like this cliff though, and I also like the availability of putting servants on the cliff side. And then pulling players down there. We're seeing if you can somehow pull monsters down there. So this is our first T2 iron mine run within 4 hours of the tutorial. We're not going to hit all the nodes. Obviously, you would want to do a massive run here and hit thousands of these. And just bring back the biggest stacks you possibly could. But I'm going to do a very short run as we hit the hour mark here. Just loop around and probably grab the chests. And all the barrels, obviously, they all contain 25, 50, 75 iron each. So you definitely don't need to actually harvest. Probably if you have a mace you want to harvest. Bad timing. Alright, this is bad. Starting to lose a little bit of frames as well. So this is probably the day. I never had this problem at all on official. It was always smooth as butter, so probably the private servers you have to be careful with. But the good news is that we're already back at base. That is a pro progressional play right there. Even a little bit getting out with it is a lot. We also never came up here to look. There's probably iron within this small area. Lots of stone. I see plenty of copper. So we actually don't need to go back to the copper mine if we can just continually farm these nodes. I also believe the nodes run on some sort of RNG system because I've physically, I believe, gotten a stone node, and then later it became a copper node. But that is the end of this run, guys. I will see you next time for... we on part 3 or 4? Part 4 or 5 of the speedrun slash gameplay guide. Solo playing a PvP server with castle sieging and the works. We're off to a great start. No deaths at all and a ton of kills. The early game is always a really fun time when it's very even. And then when you get to iron, whoever has iron usually has a big advantage over the copper players. So, and we need so many stone bricks and planks that it would be fun just to maybe get a big kill on someone. And then, you know, go down here with your iron weapons and just kind of slay out. I bet you could get a lot of 1 versus 2s on this here duo server just by having an iron weapon. So thank you guys. It's been a very enjoyable speedrun. I need to get some sleep so I can get back on later to the official server to do some sieges and join my level 70 clan as we begin to tackle the raid bosses. But it's been a pleasure to make these videos, and I hope you're enjoying them and watching along. It has been a very good run. Please like, subscribe, and rate, and let me know in the comments if you need help with anything or want some sort of video, and we'll get it taken care of. This has been the sort of run of my speedrun guide so far, and then we kind of veered off and went up here to the iron mine. So I will see you all next time.